Recording has been started. Fine. So again, good afternoon, and this is 145. So in last classes, we'll check the extra sum of square. So what we are trying to do is that uh, we have to identify whether some attributes have some significant contribution in your model or not. So what we are trying to check is that we'll check their contribution. So what is the matrix for calculating is that we are calculating sum of squared sum of regression for the full model and the restricted model, and after calculating their sum of squared extra sum of squared of the regression, and will calculate the extra sum of square. So this is my rubric for finding whether some model is good or not. So in that case, I'm just taking this is extra sum of square, and this is because due to the presence of my coefficient beta 2 when beta 1 is already in the model. Again, you have to check the language that we are calculating the contribution of this beta 2 given beta 1 is already in the model. So we are having some r dimensional data. Our degree of freedom r is available because we are taking this taking out this r dimensions over here, and then we'll calculate this by your f statistics available. So now in this class I am just taking an example over here. So my example start is that हमने इस example को शायद पहले भी पढ़ा था, like right for calculating your multiple linear regression. So this is my multiple linear regression model available here. This is my x1, this is my x2, and this is y. So we are having multiple variables available in the input case. So this is my multiple linear regression. When I am going for multivariate linear regression, so we are having multiple output available. So this has been covered, that will be covered in the next chapter. So what we are trying to do is uh, calculating this multiple linear regression. So I am just populating my x or input matrix over here. So this is 1, this is 1, this 8, this 8. So this is my x1, this is my x2, this is again x1, this is x2. So this is x1 1, this is x1 x2 1. So this is our different instances. And so let's say so this is my x1, this is my x2, and right from I am having this 11 number of instances available. Now this is my x0. So हमने initially बताया था कि my line equation of line is just equals to x बीटा, जिसमें मेरे पास बीटा नॉट था पर x नॉट नहीं था, तो by default हमने उसको 1 ले लिया. So this is how we can compute our matrix. So this is my matrix is x equals to 1 to x naught to x, this is my x2. Fine. Now I had made some computation, and I'm just solve my matrix. So this is how I calculate my estimated beta. So this is just metric multiplication. So I calculated my beta is x transpose x whole inverse into x transpose into y. So this is how I calculated my beta. So these are my beta. So I am having 3 beta, one for this beta naught. So this is my beta naught, this is my beta 1, and this is my beta 2. So my equation of line, my estimated y should be 14. This is 14. So I am having x1 is 1. So this is 14. This is minus 2. So this is minus 2 x1. So this is my 14 minus 2 x1. Then this is minus half. So this is minus x2 by 2. So this is my estimation of line. So this is how we can calculate. So कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है हमने लीनियर रिग्रेशन में कैलकुलेट कर लिया था, एंड व्हेन वी आर गोइंग फॉर दिस मल्टीपल लीनियर रिग्रेशन वी आर इन दिस just equation over here, and we have to put this values in our calculation so we can solve this matrices available. So after solving this matrices we are getting this line of equation. So finally we'll get this estimated y, and then we'll put the values of y in this equation. So we'll get estimated y. Now calculating the residuals. So what are the residuals? So again I am putting the value of x1 and x2 in this equation. So I am putting the value of x1 here and x2 over here. So I am putting this 14 minus 2 into 1, then minus 8 upon 2, so it will give you 8. So this is my original y, so this is my original y over here, this is my estimated y here. And similarly for all those instances, so similar for this all my 11 instances available here. So this is my residual, so this is my residual is -2, -3 and so on, like when we go for computation of this y hat and residual, so we'll get again 11 residuals available here. Is it fine? So are you comfortable in this calculation? Shall I proceed to next slide? Any responses? Anushka?
Yes,
Okay, fine, thank you. So this is how I calculated this sum of residual. So total sum of this residual is SS residual. So how this is SS residual is that -2 square plus 3 square plus all those things. So this is how we'll get, this is sum of square, this is my is equals to 68. Fine. We are not calculating adding all those residual. This is E1 plus E2 plus E3 because it finally converges to 0 or it tends to 0. So I am calculating the sum of square. So this is E1 square plus E2 square plus E3 square and so on. So this is my equals to 68. Now I am calculating the sum of total. So this is my SS residual. So here you will get the value SS residual over here. Fine. So this is my ANOVA table. Now I am calculating the sum of squared of total model. So sum of squared of whole variance. So मैंने आपको बताया था again this model. So this is my original y, this is my estimated y, and this is my average y. So this is my average y. So this is whole variance. So this is my whole variance. So whole variance is equals to y minus y bar. So this is y minus y bar whole square. So again this is y minus y bar ka whole square. So what is the y bar? So हमारे पास जो भी y bar आएगा, so you can get the y bar over here. So this is the just an average of all this y. So you will get the average of y. So yi minus y bar. So you will get the squared sum is equals to 90. So what is the SS regression? So this is SS regression. This is unknown part. We cannot calculate this unknown part. So this is y minus. So this is my residual. So this is residual is, and this is my residual, and this is my this is SS regression. So what we try to do is that we like to increase this SS residual, because when it increases, it means that you are covering the whole variation of your data. So this is equals to 128. So it signifies that you are getting some good results. So again now we are again calculating the degree of freedom over here. So my total instances. So my total instances are 11. So 11 minus 1 is equals to just equals to 10. So you are getting the degree of freedom over 10 over here. Then you are having a degree of residuals over here. So degree of residual is equals to n minus k. So you are having k parameters. So you are having k number of parameters. So again my k number of parameters are here is equals to 2 or 3. Again going for this equation. So the total number of betas are available are or equals to k is equals to, right from this matrices, how you will calculate the value of k? Any responses from anyone? Beta is just k cross 1 matrix. So what is the value of k?
3, sir.
Yeah, this is 3, because this is beta naught, beta 1 and beta 2. So this is my value of k. So this is my value of k. So this is 11 minus 3, this is equals to 8. So ये degree of freedom क्या बता रहा है? Again I am again saying that this degree of freedom says that we can select 8 residuals independently, so that their sum is equals to 0, or we are having 3 different equations available from these attributes. So we can identify 8 independent residuals. So this is 8 and this is 10. So the total number of regression is either is equals to k minus 1, or this is 8 minus 10 minus 8. So this is equals to 2. So my degree of regression. So this is my regressor value. So here this is value. So my degree of choosing this regressor is just 2. Fine. Now we are calculating, we have to calculate this F measure statistics. So in order to convert SS regression, because again we had started right from we are having some unknown variance sigma square. So this is my unknown variance available. So instead of giving unknown variance, because it contains this y, हम इस y पे original variance नहीं निकाल सकते, because it contains this original y contains beta naught beta transpose x plus some errors. तो जब हमारे पास error है तो we can say that we do not know the original sigma square. So instead of going original sigma square, what we can do is that the expectation of this sigma square, sorry, this sigma square आपने last slide में check करिएगा, this is sigma square. So this just equals to your expectation of SS residual SS regression and so on. So this is expectation of this sigma square is just an SS sum of squared. Now we are converting into, we are taking the mean average. So again we are taking mean average. So we'll divide this expectation by their degree of freedom. So their degree of freedom is equals to, sorry, their MS regression is equals to sum of regression upon degree of freedom. So this is 122 by 2. So this will get 61 over here, and similarly for this 68 divided by 8, so we'll get 8.5 over here. Now again we are checking the value. So what is the value of mean value of this and mean value of this versus mean value of this. So if this is small and this is greater, then we can say that we are achieving a good accuracy, or we are going for calculating the more variation. So as this line moves upward, that it means that we are calculating the good value. So the ratio of this item versus this item should be greater than the tabulated form. So the tabulated form is not available here. I'll check in the next slide. So yeah, this is the tabulated form is available is 4.46, while we are covering more than that. So we can say that we are achieving a value of 7.17. So this is how we calculate 7.17. So it means that we are creating a null hypothesis. So what is our null hypothesis is that this is beta 1 equals to beta 2 against beta i's are not equals to 0 for at least one I. So let's say my F statistics, my full model is 7.11. So this is my 7.11. So I am just calculating this value. So my original fitted model is, again my original fitted model is, this is 14x minus 2, because we are considering that either both of this is equals to 0. So हमारे पास अगर मॉडल का इंटरसेप्ट अगर कहीं पे भी 0 आ रहा है, तो ये वाली वैल्यू हमारी बड़ी होती है. अगर ये वाली हमारी वैल्यू हमारी बड़ी हो रही है, इसका मतलब हमारा ये वाला मॉडल सही नहीं है. अदरवाइज हमने जो हमारा अभी मॉडल ये बनाया था, इसकी वैल्यू बड़ी हो रही है, इसका मतलब ये हो रहा है कि हम जो है ये टेबुलेटेड वैल्यू से ज़्यादा जा रहे हैं. इस टेबुलेटेड वैल्यू से ज़्यादा जा रहा है, मतलब हमारा जो वेरिएंस है हम वो ज़्यादा कवर कर रहे हैं. इट मीन्स दैट वी आर गोइंग इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. इज इट फाइन? कोई प्रॉब्लम? आई एम वेटिंग फ्रॉम द responses. No, I think that you don't have any problem over here. So I'll move to next slide. So I'm again checking. So this is how I am just making our model. Now I am checking that my model is good or not. So my model, this is again I am taking this value of regression. So this is r square. So my r square is just SS regression upon SS total. So this is equals to 122 by 190 जो हमने calculate करा था. So this is equals to 0.64, or we can say that this model is not good because it contains 64% of your variability. हम पूरी variability explain नहीं कर रहे. We are just including 2/3 portion of this variability. So is it good or not? So we are again checking whether what this x2 contributes, that x1 is already in the model, जो हम check करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे. तो again let's say we are taking our hypothesis that beta is equals to 0 against beta 2 is 0 against beta 2 is not equals to 0. So we are comparing, we are checking whether this beta 2 is providing some significant contribution in your model. That is whether we should go for y equals to 14 minus 2x1, or we can go for y equals to 14 minus 2x1 minus x2. So this is my full model. Now I'm checking whether this beta 2 exists or not. So again I'm checking, I'm going for t distribution. तो हमने last class में check करा था what is the t distribution. So this is my t distribution available over here. So this is my t distribution available. So this is my expected beta 2 minus beta 2. So we'll consider this beta 2 is equals to 0, and then we'll compare by some tabulated form upon ms residual on x transpose x minus. So this is just our formula for calculating our t. So this 2 2, it means that for this covariance matrix that is being available, this is an square matrix x transpose x whole inverse. So this is my square matrix, and let's say we are having only 4 values. So this is 1 1, this is 1 2, sorry, this 1 2, this is 2 1, and this is 2 2 values. So this is my square matrix are available. So I am just getting the 2 to second value, because I am taking the beta naught. Fine. So I am calculating the value of beta naught. So this is the 2 to this value. So I'll calculating, or I am just considering the 2 2 value over here, because we are not considering the full model. So instead of getting whole covariance matrix, I'll just like to include this value right from this. Fine. So again I'm calculating all this. So what is it means that our variance of beta naught is just equals to the ms residual of x transpose x inverse. So my variance of this is equals to my ms residual. So हमने ms residual calculate करा था. This is an 8.5. Then this is x transpose x inverse. So I am just calculating the 2 2 value. So I'll take my 2 2 value over here. So my 2 2 value. So this is my 2 2 value available here. So this is 0 1 and 2. This is, so this is my 0th row, this is 1th row, this is 2nd row, again this is 0th column, this is 1st column, and this is 2nd column. So I am taking this 4.422 value available. Why? Because this is beta naught, this is beta 1, this is my beta 2, again this is my beta naught, this is beta 1, and this is for beta 2. Fine. So this is my 2 value comes over here. So this is by this formula, right from this. So beta 2 hat minus beta 2 upon variance of beta. So this is my formula for calculating my t value. So my t value is equals to minus 0.8348. Fine. So again we are calculating the tabulated value. So my tabulated value is t 0.05. So this is my just an confidence interval जो हमने एक्सेल में पढ़ा था. So this is my excel confidence interval by 2 comma 8. So this is what is comma 8. So this is just an degree of freedom available here. So why we are calculating the degree of freedoms? Because we have to check the tabulated values right from your tth table. So this is equals to 2.3 again. So mod of t, that is we are not considering the magnitude over here, sign of here. So we'll just contain 0.83. So 0.83 Am I audible this time? College की light चली गई है. Fine. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes, sir.
just sharing from my mobile. Kindly wait. It is just opening. Kindly wait for 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
My data science PPT and आपको अभी मेरी स्लाइड दिख रही है वहां पर?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, fine. I'm just checking where we are on which slide. So yeah, fine. My screen is visible to you? My screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Yeah. Just, it is being loaded, you know. Yeah. So हम यहाँ पर थे. So it means that we have to check for our t statistics whether these t statistics are good or not. So by calculating this t statistics over here, what we can say that our modulus t is not greater than the tabulated value, that is t 0.05 by 2 upon comma 8. So therefore we can accept our null hypothesis, which says that x2 is not significant in the presence of x1. So what we can this over here, because it doesn't provide some additional information on in your cases. Like let's say मेरे पास अगर एक फॉर्मूला था या कुछ प्रिडिक्ट था जिसमें मेरे पास एक डेट ऑफ बर्थ भी थी और एक जिसमें मेरे पास एज भी था, तो एज और डेट ऑफ बर्थ दोनों एक आपस में एक दूसरे से को रिलेटेड है. इट मींस कि अगर मैं एज भी हटा दूं या डेट ऑफ बर्थ भी हटा दूं तो मेरे मॉडल में कोई ज्यादा वैल्यू में चेंज नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि दोनों एक ही चीज फाइनली कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं. और वी कैन से दैट दिस x1 और x2 आर might be dependent on each other. So this is why I'm going. So we'll cover why this is happening. So just take here is that your x2 is not providing some significant information over here. Fine. So now similarly, now we have to calculate whether x1 is providing some significant information to x2 or not in presence of x1. So again I am checking the values right from, we don't have to calculate all those models. I'm just taking the values and I'm just calculating over here. I'm just replacing this is by 0.169. so what is this 0.169? So this 0.169 is just the value of x11. So here I can calculate all those values. So again we are just changing to x11 and it signifies that we are getting the value of 1.688. so it means that our x1 is not significant in the presence of x2. So what we can say that x1 and x2 are globally significant, but they are not significant in presence of each other. Or we can say that while we are considering their presence, we are completing their overall 65% variability, while in case of we are checking the presence of x1 and x2, we can say that these both are not significant in case of each other. So this is a problem, and this problem is known as the multicollinearity. So what is the multicollinearity? So multicollinearity says that your regressions are correlated or your regressions are independent of not linearly dependent on each other. So दोनों एक दूसरे के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट हो रहे हैं. तो हमारे पास प्रॉब्लम क्या आ रही है? हमारे पास प्रॉब्लम ये आ रही है कि कोलिनियरिटी की प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. इसका मतलब ये है कि both x2 and x1 are both, all the attributes are significant, but when we are checking for their significance in presence of each other, they are not as much as significant for each other. So This problem is just because of multicollinearity. Let's take this matrix as an example. So I have matrix, data matrix. This is 138, again 138, again 138. So ये आपको क्या दिखा रहा है? Again linear algebra में जा रहे हैं. So what it signifies over here? Hello, any responses from anyone? क्या अगर मैं ये सॉल्व करता हूँ, लेट्स से मैं ये मैट्रिक्स सॉल्व करता हूँ, तो हम नीचे वाले इस पे आते हैं, दिस इज बीटा 1. मैंने इसको जस्ट वेक्टर फॉर्म में तोड़ लिया, इस मैट्रिक्स को मैंने वेक्टर फॉर्म में तोड़ लिया. तो लेट्स से दिस इज बीटा 1 इज इक्वल्स टू 1 1 1 प्लस बी इनटू बीटा 1 इज इक्वल्स टू 3 3 3 and then beta 2 is 8 8. So what it means is that you are having three vectors, or we are having three equations available over here. Fine. So one equation is just like in beta naught plus 3 beta 1 plus 8 beta 2 is equals to 6. Okay, again second equation is again beta naught plus 3 beta 1 plus 8 beta 2 is equals to 4. Again third equation is beta naught plus 3 beta 1 plus 8 beta 2 is equals to 8. So it means, what does it means? So it means that you are getting some equations over here, and am I audible now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. Yeah. Arey yaar. So what it signifies over here is that कि हमारे पास तीन अननोन वेरिएबल आ रहे हैं और हमारे पास इक्वेशन एक बन रही है. अगर मैं उसको मैट्रिक्स फॉर्म में या वेक्टर फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट, मैं उसको अगर मैट्रिक्स फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट करूं, तो मेरे पास क्या आ रहा है? लेट्स से ये मेरे पास जो ब्लैक एरो, दिस इज माय 1 1 1. अगेन मेरे पास जो रेड एरो है, दिस इज अगेन 3 3 3. एंड अगेन माय black arrow again on the 3 dimension, this is 8 8 8. So what it reflects is that
सर स्क्रीन पे वो ट्रू कॉलर का दिख रहा है.
तो अभी भी दिख रहा है? अब तो नहीं दिख
यस
रहा?
सर.
ओके, जस्ट अ मिनट. मेरे कॉलेज में लाइट आ गई है. जस्ट अ मिनट, जस्ट अ मिनट. I'm just joining within a minute. Let me check. Oh, yeah, multipolarity. Hello. हाँ, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
यस सर.
Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. My screen is visible to you, na? Now, screen visible, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So what we are trying to do is that we have to identify whether these three columns are independent of each other or not. So this is an way how we can go for some feature selection techniques available over here. So when multicollinearity arises, it means that you are having the presence of x1 and x2 are globally significant, but these x1 and x2 are not globally significant in presence of each other. So it arises multicollinearity. So what is the multicollinearity? It means that you are having some regressor variable associated, regressor variable that are this axis or this input, or we can say that this observation, and these observation are usually independent of each other. Let's say this is my x0 and this is my x1, this is my x2, and this is my x3. So these are independent of each other. So when we are trying to solve this equation, so we are getting this beta naught plus 3 beta 1 plus 8 beta 2 is equals to 6. Again, I am having a similar equation, but we are having different responses. So we are having three unknown variables and we are having a single equation available. Or we can say that when we are going for elimination, अगर आपने linear algebra में elimination पर गए होंगे, so what we can get is that हम इनमें से ये सब minus करेंगे. So we are getting just a single line over here, and this is we get some column space and row space, null spaces available here. So you are comfortable with the null spaces ना? आपने linear algebra में पढ़ा था, I think. Column spaces, row spaces, and when we are going for elimination. अरे कोई तो जवाब दो. Yeah, so we are having null spaces. It means that we don't have a pivot table available here, or pivots available. So these pivots are 0. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, again this is 0, again this is 0, and this is again 0. So we are having some beta 1, beta naught plus plus 3 beta 1 plus 3 beta 2 is equals to either 6 or 4 or 7. So we don't have any solution available over here, or we can represent it, or we can represent it as an vector. So this is my first vector, so this is my beta naught, this is my red vector, so this is my beta 1, and this is my beta 2, this is my yellow vector. So what it signifies is that we are moving in the same direction. So we can say that all these three lines are just an in same direction. So it does not give me a something good, because we are having some magnitude available, or and direction are same. So what it means is that this column, this 3 column is just 3 times of your first column. Again, this second column is third column is just 8 times of first column. So again, what we are having the column space. So column space is just a line, and the rank of this matrix is just 1, because all these values become 0. So what we can say that when your number of columns is not equals to your rank of matrix, it means that you are having some multicollinearity available with you. Fine. So I suppose कि आप लोगों ने इसको पढ़ रखा होगा. So again we are taking another value. So मैंने यहाँ थोड़ा सा गलत लिख दिया. This is my value is my value over here is just an 2, this is 3, and this is 11 again. So what we are getting is that again this is my 3, this is my 4, and this is my 12. Fine. So again अब यहाँ पे हमारे पास क्या multicollinearity आ रही है? क्या हमारे पास multicollinearity क्या इस केस में आ सकती है? तो yes, we can say that the combination of first 2 column gives you third column. This is 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. Again 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. Again 1 plus 11 equals to 2. So मेरे पास let's say this is my beta naught. Again this is my beta 1. So my third column is just combination of all those. So इन दोनों को जब मैं कंबाइन करूंगा तो मेरे को थर्ड वेक्टर मिल जाएगा. तो ये वाला जो मेरा वेक्टर है, ये मेरे पास फिर इंफॉर्मेशन कुछ नहीं दे रहा है. इसका मतलब ये है कि ये वाला वेक्टर, ये मेरा जो बीटा 2 है, ये कोलिनियरिटी जनरेट कर रहा है. ये हमारे सिलेबस में है. सो यू विल हैव टू गो फॉर दिस मल्टीपल कोलिनियरिटी. सो अगेन वी आर हैविंग अ कॉलम स्पेस. सो माय अगेन यहाँ पर मेरा कॉलम स्पेस क्या मिल रहा है, मेरा कॉलम स्पेस मिल रहा है एक प्लेन, सॉरी ये लाइन नहीं है. सो दिस इज माय कॉलम स्पेस इज जस्ट इक्वल्स टू ए प्लेन. तो इन दोनों वेक्टर्स को मिला लूंगा तो एक प्लेन मिलेगा. while in case of this my column space is just an line available here now. And the let's say what is the rank of matrix available here. So because मेरे पास सिर्फ ये दो कॉलम ही मिल रहे हैं, so my rank of matrix is just equals to 2. so again the number of columns and the rank of matrix is not equals. so we can say that again this may arise your multicollinearity. हम इसको अलग अलग तरीके से चेक कर सकते हैं. कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं? either what we can have is that we are having three equations, we are having only two equations and three unknown variables. So it can say that we are having multiple collinearity exists right from this matrix, or we are converting this matrix into some vector form. So I'm just generating a matrix form over here, vectors over here. So it reflects that these two vector combination of two vector is just and the combination of just and third vector. So this combination of two vector is the third vector. So again it signifies that it is a multicollinearity. Or we can say that your number of columns is not equals to number of rank of your matrix. So it means that you are suffering from multicollinearity. Is it fine? इतना समझ में आ रहा है? इन तीनों में से कोई एक तरीका भी आपको समझ में आ रहा हो तो it is good. Any problem till now? हमारा सिलेबस यहीं से स्टार्ट होता है इस सेमेस्टर में, इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ. Okay, fine. So no response, it means it is good. Now what is the problem? So problem is that while we are doing some elimination, so let's say in my first matrix, so we have solution available for this. No, we don't have solution for this. So we lost our pivots over here. So it means that my x transpose x becomes singulars and we don't have inverse of x transpose x जो मैंने यहाँ से start करा था. Let's say y equals to x transpose x available over here and this is my inverse, then x transpose y. So it becomes a singular matrix. So it becomes a singular matrix and thus we can say that we don't have a inverse of this. So we don't have any solution for this matrix. Fine. Linear algebra में मैं इसको ऐसे समझा सकता था. Fine. So what is the problems due to the multicollinearity? So when we are having strong multicollinearity, it means that we are having large variance and large covariance matrices available. So it means that हमारा जो matrix बना था, मैंने कहाँ बनाया था? This is sorry slide चली गई. तो मेरा जो matrix था, this is my covariance matrix. So this my covariant matrix is very large. So जब very large होगा तो वेरी लार्ज होगा तो मेरे पास वैल्यू नहीं आएगी. देन इट प्रमोट्स लीस्ट स्क्वायर एस्टिमेट्स दैट आर टू फॉर फ्रॉम द ट्रू वैल्यूज ऑफ पैरामीटर. मतलब मेरा वेरिएंस जो आएगा कोवेरिएंस बड़ा है, इसका मतलब ये है कि जब मैं लीस्ट स्क्वायर एस्टिमेट लूंगा, लीस्ट स्क्वायर एस्टिमेट मतलब वही दिस इज y माइनस y एस्टिमेटेड होल स्क्वायर, तो ये ओरिजिनल वैल्यू से बहुत दूर जाएगा. इट मीन्स दैट हमारे पास जो मॉडल के कोफिशिएंट आएंगे, जो नेगेटिव साइन होना चाहिए था वो पॉजिटिव आएंगे, या जो इनका साइन पॉजिटिव आना चाहिए था उनका साइन हमारे पास नेगेटिव आएगा. तो मॉडल कोफिशिएंट कैसे? जैसे हमने एक्सपेक्ट करा कि बीटा 2 जो है वो 2 आना चाहिए था, तो हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा? -2 आ जाएगा. या हमारे पास बीटा 3 है, वो -3 आना चाहिए था, वो -2 आ रहा है. सो हमारे पास साइन भी चेंज हो सकते हैं. नाउ द हाई सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द global F test, but none of the regress are significant in the partial F test. So again जैसे हमने यहाँ पर कैलकुलेट करा था, हमने यहाँ पर F test कैलकुलेट करा था ओवरऑल मॉडल का. तो ओवरऑल मॉडल तो क्या बोल रहा है कि मेरा F test जो है वो बहुत बढ़िया है. यहाँ पे हमने चेक भी करा था, दिस इज 7.7 is greater than 4.46. नाउ अगेन हम इसका पार्शियल टेस्ट चेक कर रहे हैं. तो हम पार्शियल टेस्ट में हमने यहाँ चेक करा था, दिस इज this x2 is not significant available here. Again we are checking that again this x1 is not significant of the x2. इसका मतलब ये हो रहा है कि हम जब दोनों को मिला रहे हैं तो वो दोनों मिलके तो ग्लोबली सिग्निफिकेंट हो रहे हैं, पर एक दूसरे के इसमें सिग्निफिकेंट ला रहे हैं तो दोनों एक दूसरे के लिए इनसिग्निफिकेंट हो रहे हैं। इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारे पास ये वाली प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पर, दिस इज अगेन this problem arises due to your multicollinearity. Then again we are having different model selection procedure that leads a different model. मेरे पास अलग अलग मॉडल है। मेरे पास मान लीजिए अभी तो हमने एग्जांपल में सिर्फ बीटा 1 एंड बीटा 2 लिया था। अब मेरे पास मान लीजिए 10 एट्रीब्यूट्स है, तो मैं किस मॉडल पे और किस मॉडल को सिलेक्ट करूंगा? तो हम एक बेस्ड मॉडल सिलेक्ट नहीं कर सकते। एक टेस्ट के लिए और कुछ मॉडल आ रहा है, दूसरे टेस्ट के लिए दूसरा कुछ मॉडल आ रहा है। सो वी डू नॉट रिलाई that we are going for a very good model. So this is some problems that arises due to your multicollinearity. Any problem in that? Hello? Any problem? I think that you don't have any problem over here. So I'll stop recording and I'm